It's been about 5 years since you made your big screen debut in Yoga Hosers. Your dad was also in that with you. Do you guys ever see yourself acting again together?
I think we won't ever see the planet.
I want to be honest with him about everything.
I loved this movie. It was literally Lord of the Flies in space, two of my favorite things. Did you guys read Lord of the Flies for this? What kind of training or prep went into it, into being in the space of it all?
I did not read Lord of the Flies in preparation for this film, but obviously aware of it. It's the classic story, about struggle for control and power. And I think in this film, it's very unique and nuanced, because of the backdrop it's set against, in the midst of space on this, very long voyage to a far distant planet, and mainly focused on these 30 people on board this ship, who were all 18, 19 years old, coming of age. They're coming to grips with their with desires that they're feeling for the first time, and certain feelings.
I'm scared.
There's nothing to be scared of.
Lily Rose, what about for you? I heard the costumes were very hot and sweaty.
I mean, we were shooting like in the kind of peak of summer in Romania, so it was definitely like really, really warm, and there was a lot of sweat for sure. We definitely got our steps in, our miles in for that day. But yeah, I mean, I think the prep for this one was really interesting because there's usually you have kind of like the characters. What you imagine to be their backstory, to kind of nourish the character and how they may be when you meet them in the movie. But obviously there kind of isn't that opportunity for these kids because they've been, literally created for this mission and have known nothing outside of that world. And so I think it was an interesting challenge, like working with that. But I think the most important for me was really connecting to the very human emotions that my character's having and all of these kind of like very normal questions that she's asking herself. I think it's normal to kind of sit with these questions of like, who do I want to be and what do I want my life to mean and all of these things. And so, I think just connecting to those feelings was key for me in connecting to her.
I'm not drinking it. What does it feel like to feel something?
How was it to play the villain?
It's great. I mean, it's great fun to play the bad guys. You've got so much freedom to make big decisions that you might not if you were playing a slightly subtler character.
Colin Farrell is also in this. How was it to work with him?
It was amazing. I mean, I only had a couple of scenes with him, but it was just great to be around him and sort of learn from him on set. His reputation precedes him. He's an incredible actor and a very genuine, lovely guy.
There's a toxin in the water. It's coming from us. So we're eating something toxic.
We do see in this movie that the young men and women don't like that their blue drink is being tampered with, and as a result, they start rebelling, which is also just part of, I think, being young and part of venturing into adulthood. Did you ever go through a rebellious phase, or what is the secret to keeping the good head on your shoulders?
I think everybody probably goes through a bit of a rebellious phase, and I mean, I think you're going to stand for what you believe in, and if it's within your reason, it makes sense to you. I think, I can be stubborn in that way. I'll also be rational about things and reasonable. But yeah, I mean, I think that's, of course, when someone's being rebellious, I think that they believe that they actually, are making the right decision. I've just had, good role models in my life, who I trust and love and look up to and learn from. What about you, Lily?
I mean, I think that for me, it's, I think those rebellious phases are inevitable and just like part of growing up. You can't be like perfect all the time. I mean, nobody's perfect, period. I think that's just like the fact of life. But I think that, a big part of like keeping a good head on your shoulders is just having a lot of like self-awareness and never feeling like you take yourself too seriously. And I think it's always good to, have a good self-reflection about the things that you've done and always thinking about how you could be better. Because like I said, none of us are perfect. I would never think it beneficial to arrive at a place where you're just like, I'm good. I've made my bad choices and my good choices, and now I'm good. You know, I think that life is just like always a search for just like, you know, a quest for goodness and how can I be better and be better for myself and for the people in my life. And yeah,
I love that.
allowing myself that space.
Yeah, I think that everyone goes through a rebellious phase when they're like, you know, a teenager. I think that's just sort of part of growing up, is that you push the boundaries and you see what happens. I'm very lucky that I've got an incredible family and wonderful friends around me that keep me very grounded.
As you guys have navigated Hollywood, what have you learned about the fame part of it all?
That it's like a silly side effect of what we both really love doing. You know, like I think I can speak for both of us when I say that like we just really, really love our jobs and we're both really passionate about it and feel really grateful and privileged that we're able to wake up and do things that we love to do. And you know, there are other things that come along with that I can't say I'm very interested in. What's interesting to me is you know, beautiful storytelling and complex characters and things like that. And so that's the only interesting part of it for me.
I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a famous person. You know, I walk down the street and no one bothers me. But I do see a lot of people around me, you know, that are, you know, have the same, you know, do the same profession as I do, and you know, who maybe they deal with it a bit more. It's amazing that people watch your work and are moved by it and compelled by it and you know, welcome it into their lives and share it with their friends and family or whoever. And so when you look at it in that sense, you know, and the impact that it makes on people, I think that is the most special part about storytelling or any art form. It's the ability to affect other people.
Lily Rose, it's been about 5 years since you made your big screen debut in Yoga Hosers, which is time just goes by so fast.
Crazy. Yeah, time flies.
Time flies. Your dad was also in that with you. Do you guys ever see yourself acting again together? Do you look at projects together?
You know, I think never say never. You know, that's really not something that I you know, that I consider first and foremost. And what's interesting to me is you know, the particular character that I may or may not be playing and the story that it's telling and everything. But yeah, I mean, I love to work with great actors.